Hello, welcome to the show, everybody. This is the Nairobi Health Show with Dave Sherwin, and I have a guest today from the Ukraine. So we've had some time zone issues as far as picking a time that would work for both of us. But Alex, thank you for figuring out a good time that would work and for coming on the show.
Thank you, Dave, so much for having me. I mean, we just 7 days ago, I had you on my show and it was phenomenal. And thank you for inviting to your show.
Yeah, and for those of you listening, you probably noticed I'm doing this more and more because I'm invited on quite a few podcasts. I probably do one a week on someone else's podcast, which I really enjoy. It's just fun for me to talk about this stuff. I'm sure it's the same for you, Alex. But every now and then, someone interviews me, and I'm like, "Oh, I got to have this person on my show." And that's what happened here. Alex did a great interview with me. We had a lot of fun, and at the end, I said, "Hey, how'd you like to come over and be on the Nairobi Health Show?" Which he was kind enough to do. And the Health Mastery Roadmap is what Alex is currently teaching, and it's his modality in health. And let me read to you his bio. Alex is a health and weight loss coach helping people stop yo-yo dieting, successfully master weight loss, weight maintenance, health, energy, and vitality. Alex Yehorov's mission is to help you unlock your inner power, help you master your body, your weight loss, weight maintenance, and your health while enjoying everything life has to offer. And Alex, it seems like you're doing a good job of that. How long have you been a health coach?
I've been helping people for professionally for the money, so to speak, for just a little bit less than 1.5 years. But my journey and everything started like 10 years ago. And I've been helping family, friends, obviously for free. But if you're talking about like professional, like helping people, then yeah, it's only about 1.5 years ago I started doing that. And I'm absolutely enjoying that.
And when did your interest in health and wellness begin for you personally?
Well, if we talking about the fitness, it began maybe when I was 5, 6 years old, when my father, started teaching me how to do pull-ups, chin-ups, and push-ups to begin with. But then, life gets in the way. It's a high school and things like that. And I started, since 14 years old, I started drinking, smoking, and then eventually drugs shows up. And eventually, as you might understand, I stopped exercising completely. And just roughly in 2012, which is like 10 years ago, I started again introducing myself into the fitness. No health yet, just fitness, because I was feeling very low emotionally. I was in a rut in my life in so many areas. Again, just imagine working 9 to 5. The salary is $200. It's in Ukraine. I was working as a coal miner. Hard job, $200, not enough for drugs, alcohol, and cigarette. Parents basically were giving me money. Well, they didn't know that, but they were giving partially on that and on food and everything. So I was living with parents. I was playing video games. mm, Very bad in my relationship with the opposite sex, wasn't the best. And I just didn't know that there is goals exist, there is possibilities that everybody can achieve some results and prime somewhere. So it was really rough part of my life, and I decided to change it by at least start building the confidence on myself by going to the gym. So that's my second era of the exercises begin already in 2012. And after that, obviously, I realized that fitness and health is two different things. So just lifting weight and eating whatever, it doesn't really feels good most of the time. So I didn't feel good. I started in 2012 when I was skinny, right? And then I've gained roughly 35, 40 pounds and didn't feel good. I started figuring out the nutrition portion of the healthy lifestyle, and slowly paleo diet was introduced to intermittent fasting, which I absolutely love till these days, and keto diet, bulletproof diet, you name it. So I start playing with the nutrition, and this is where things start working a lot better than before. And one good habit starts slowly adds up another one. So look, I start exercising, I start more improving my nutrition, and then starting thinking differently, starting reading books, starting using less drugs, less alcohol, less toxic people around me, and things like that. So it didn't happen in one day. If you ask me what was the rock bottom moment, I had many of them. Until this day, I still have some days, rough days, right? Where sometimes life feels, well, not feels awful. But now what I do is I catch myself a lot easier, and I pull myself within minutes or hours at least, not months and years, sitting in this rut, in this depression. Now I see it for what it is, because I've done a lot of inner work with myself and eliminating limiting beliefs, emotional states, whatever you name it. So now it's easier for me to prime towards where I wanted to be and be happy, and hopefully help people around the world to improve their health, improve their vitality, and things like that.
Fantastic. Would you say you had to overcome any addictions along the way, or was it less a case of addiction than just a bad lifestyle? Or did you go through withdrawal or anything like that as you change your lifestyle from being very unhealthy to being healthy?
Yeah, so it's both. Basically, I did have a lot of withdrawals through the drugs and alcohol and cigarettes, and I've accomplished many things like that. Overcame, and even junk food. For example, I'm completely clean already for 7 months or 8 months, meaning I didn't eat any junk food. Now, before I already was healthy for a long time, right? But what's happening from time to time, once in a month, you're still gonna have something. I'm not saying it's bad. All I'm just saying it's that was my goal, and I happily can say that I overcome that. I overcame 4 years of binge eating. That was probably even worse than drug addiction, believe it or not. It was crazy. And
Uh,
uh, withdrawal syndromes, if you ask in drugs and alcohol and cigarettes, totally they were there. But it's something that I've learned to deal with and push through. Back then I didn't know all of those inner exercises, all of those mental work and emotional work. So of course it will take me a lot easier and a lot faster to overcome those different addictions, right? But it took me 19 years to overcome smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day and drinking a ton of beer every single day. Now I'm Russian, but I don't really like vodka much, but I did, sure enough, like beer. So many cans of beer every day. So it is a process. It is a process, especially when you don't really know how to work with yourself and what strategies really work. And I was just hitting the wall. I was just crying, starting again, and then falling, and then again, and then again and again. So basically the success story is never give up, guys. I mean, it's so simple. Everybody say that, but the more you hear it, the more you get adjusted to that, and you stop listening to that and stop applying. So the first lesson that I would share is, guys, I don't care where you are right now, mentally, physically, I want you to understand that never give up. Whatever you are going through right now, somebody already figured it out. Somebody in the internet, in the world, maybe your neighbor figured it out. So just model success. That's and never give up. That's one of the story that I can share the experience from going through those difficulties.
and how did you let's just call it rewiring? Let's just you're not a house with real wires, but mentally, right? We can use that as an analogy. You rewired your own brain, your own thinking, your
Brain.
own. You've mentioned emotions, etc. How did you do that?
There is many ways that I teach right now, and there is many ways that I've gone through myself. There is meditations, there is journaling your thoughts, there is questioning those limiting beliefs. And sometimes when you question them, they actually breaking down, and then you can set empowering belief instead. There is things like affirmations, incantations. There is quite a lot of them, and it's actually one of the part of the health mastery roadmap that I'm about to share with you guys today.
Okay,
That's
okay.
one of
So
the big part.
I'm getting ahead on you then. So let's jump into it. Tell us about
Yep.
the health mastery
So
roadmap.
the health mastery roadmap is something that I assembled after many years of figuring things out myself. And what I found is I've created those 7 simple, not always simple, but 7 steps for creating lasting change. I'm talking about losing weight and actually keeping it off. Yes, I am talking about that, guys. So step number one is always I trying to forgive myself. Doesn't matter. I want to what you do. And by the way, everything I say right now, I don't want you just listen. I want you to apply, because everything I teach is applicable. Right away, you listening, you tune into this live, to this call, to this episode. I want you to understand that number one, if you want to create the change, you need to forgive yourself. You need to start with forgiveness. You probably already followed the wagon multiple times in your life. You set your mind to, hey, I'm going to exercise that much and this much, and you fell again. And then you beat yourself up, and then you would sabotage your results again and again. My friend, if you listen to me right now, I want you to understand you are a beautiful human being, even if you don't know that. And I want you to really sit down, not just listen to me, sit down, spend 20, 30 minutes connecting to yourself, to your past, to your present, and forgive yourself. You need to understand, you need to embrace the failures, because I've gone through many failures. Roughly 718 attempts it took me to quit smoking and drinking. That was awful. There's a lot of attempts. And for example, Thomas Thomas Edison, when he created the light bulb, it didn't happen from the first attempt, my friend. Didn't happen. So maybe it's not going to happen with your diet, your nutrition, exercises, whatever you're trying to accomplish in this life. It doesn't matter. It's not always happening from the very beginning, from the first attempt. So forgive yourself, embrace failure. Thomas Edison took him 10,000 attempts to create the light bulb. And you know how he rephrased that? He actually reframed that. He said, it's not even failure. I just found 9,999 ways of how you're not going to create the light bulb. That's it. So can you imagine the different reframing? The meaning is different, and it's a lot more empowering. So if you, my friend, who tuning in right now, tried many diets, many whatever healthy hacks, and they didn't work for you, well, embrace that. Learn from that. As long as you're learning something from that, put yourself back in a powerful state and go get your goals again. Forgive yourself. Step number one. Now, step
Fantastic.
number two, yeah.
Carry on. Number two, let's go.
Step number two is you got to have a vision. You got to have the ultimate vision for your life. And Arnold Schwarzenegger said, if you don't have the vision, if you don't have the goal, you're just basically drifting around and you're never going to get nowhere, and you're never going to be happy. I found it completely true for myself in different areas of life. I know we're talking about weight loss and health in this regard, but it's applicable in all the areas of life. So what I want you to do is to sit down and spend 10-15 minutes thinking about your ultimate vision. Maybe you want to create the body of your dreams. I want you to write down a few questions and actually go through them. How do you want to look like? How would your body of your dreams look like? Because our mind is, our brain is incredible computer. If you're going to prime it the way where you want to go, if you want to mentally rehearse that, you are going to get it. And it's not some kind of magical BS or something. It's been proven by so many scientists, and Dr. Joe Dispenza and Greg Braden, et cetera, et cetera. There's plenty of information nowadays about that. So even if you don't believe in those things, that's okay. Just do it from this scientific standpoint.
Question for you. Are you a fan of Arnold?
I do. And it's not from the bodybuilding standpoint. I am a fan of him for the commitments, for the achievements, for the visions. And he is empowering me. I like how he used the pain and the pleasure. And I'm going to touch it on a little bit further. But okay. I do like him. And it's not from this politician.
Have you seen his new newsletter?
Is it that he uploaded about 2 days ago on his YouTube channel that after the environmental laws?
That he'll put that in his newsletter. But if you haven't seen it, he started a monthly newsletter about 3 months ago.
So monthly newsletter, is it email or what's that?
It's an email that's super long. It's like he's doing it once a month. And for those of you that haven't, and maybe you don't even like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Some of you listening, I'm sure there's all kinds of attitudes. And we're talking everything from maybe you don't like his politics, maybe you're not into bodybuilding, whatever. I don't care. I love his newsletter. It's pretty new. It's very, very long. If he made a video or 2 or 3 in a month, they're all in there. He talks about his causes. And I'm telling you, he is an inspiration.
Yes.
Love him or hate him. He is an inspiring person. He has a vision, like you talked about, and honestly, I think he's only put out 3. I was lucky enough to be on someone else's list who said Arnold Schwarzenegger just put out a newsletter, and it's really hilarious and it's really inspiring, and you got to listen. And I got on the very first one. So, anyways, Alex, check that out. And for everyone listening, Google Arnold Schwarzenegger newsletter and enter your email. And he sends 1 super long email per month. And I can't recommend it enough. I really enjoy it. And it's a laugh. It's inspiring, but it's also funny.
He's an awesome guy. I mean, again, through the politician, people might love, might hate. I understand that, guys, but he's just an incredible human being. His vision is awesome. I like that he is a very actionable person. He's not just talking, he is doing. So whatever you feel to him, I think everybody will benefit by subscribing to his email list. And I'm totally going to do that. I swear. So
I know you'll love it.
Yeah. Step number 2 is
number 3.
And number 2 is create your vision. You need to know where you're going exactly. You need to know how you're going to feel. Not only the vision of your body, but the vision, how you're going to feel, how going to people interact with you, how the whole world going to be around, how your kids going to smile at you, how you need to really feel it. Emotions, it's everything, guys. And
okay. I gotta stop you there for a minute.
Yep.
And I'm going to push back a little bit on that because and don't get me wrong, I'm certainly not criticizing. But I just want to tell you something. Having been in the weight loss field for a very long time, I started in 2009 myself helping other people lose weight. And let me just make this one point. Sometimes in people's heads, they hype up what it will be like to reach their ideal body weight so much that when they get there, it's a letdown. It's just them. It's just normal. It's angels don't come out and sing, right? There's not some magical, wonderful state. People who are at their ideal body weight can have as many problems as people who are overweight. Okay. And so I just like to, I know you have thought about this. I know you've dealt with it. How does a person set a realistic vision this way so that they don't, we sometimes think that when we achieve a goal, it might be better than it is. Now, again, that's a wonderful goal. Of course, I hope for everyone to live at their most ideal body weight, fitness, mental health, physical health. We all of us want to do our best with the potential that we have. So I just throw that out there because it's something I've seen. Sometimes people have hyped it up so much, they hit their goal and they go back to putting back on the weight because it's just, they're just now the same person with a better body, yes, but many of the same problems and challenges.
Because they don't have their good reason why. I understand what you're talking, Dave, and it's actually part number 3. The step number 3 is to create a strong reason, create a strong why. And I actually have been in the part of my life when I didn't have the 6 abs and I wanted it so much, and that's what I was thinking. And when I got it, in 2 weeks, I slide back to the overeating and losing that. And right now, I always consistently have 6 abs, but that's because I create a lot of reasons, I turn my I should to the I must. I absolutely must to have this body. And it's not always about the body. That's why I said when you do this, when you create the vision, it's not always about just the body. It's the way you're gonna operate in this new world. Is the way you're gonna treat yourself. Is the way you're gonna pursue your goals. Is the way you're gonna smile to the people. So when I'm, for example, visualizing or doing mental rehearsal, it's not just I'm imagining this body. Is the way I'm priming my mind into all the areas. And again, life not going to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect. I know when you're going to reach your body goal. That's why I'm saying it's not the body, it's the way you feel and the way you have to move to the step number 3, which is basically creating the strong reasons. It's also practical step. I want you to leverage yourself. I want you to sit down and really, really think and go deep why you want to create this change in your life. Let's say the body of your dream. Why? Because if you just say, hey, because I want to have a good 6 abs, which I at first had the reason. When I reached that, I'm like, okay, so what? Now I had it, not fun, didn't change much. And I went back on my limitations, on my inner world, and basically my old food eating and whatnot. So you need to really ask, and it's called, I believe, the Dean Graziosi called it 7 deep why, and I utilize this exercise as well. It's perfect, awesome exercise. When you ask in first why, is something obvious shows up. Why you wanna? Well, because I want a good 6 abs. Why you want a good 6 abs? For example, it's just example. Well, because I want to start dating with this girl and she likes 6 abs. I'm like, okay, so what's next? Why you want to get? It's maybe crazy example. I'm just sharing. It's one of them. We can go on about that topic, but then you ask why you want to date with that girl, for example, or and you, well, because I want to love, and then you start going deeper. Why you want to feel
Why
love?
you want love? Yeah.
Maybe
It's funny. We do this as precision nutrition coaches. This is the first thing I do in any private coaching. We do 5. 7 is deep.
5.
That's hard. We have a hard time getting people to 5. But
Yes.
I love this point. I've done it with people. And let me tell you something, Alex, and you obviously do this with people too. And for those of you listening, I got to tell you, as a coach, to do this with a person is incredibly powerful. They often don't expect it on a coaching call. So they call you up because they have a specific problem. And you say, yeah, let's just step back before we get into the specific problem. You just say, what is your goal? Oh, well, I want to lose 40 pounds. Why? And then I ask him that why 5 times. And this could take 20 minutes. Now, unfortunately, I often can't get them all done. I often have to say, hey, listen, this is going to take our whole coaching call. So why don't you carry on this conversation with someone else? But let me tell you what. You don't need me or Alex to do this right now. Go to a friend, go to someone you trust or love, or someone who supports you in your goals, and say, this is my goal, and have them help you, because it actually is really good to do with another person. And Alex, that's even true for me. I find that when I sit there with my pen and paper, doing the 5 whys about a new goal, it's kind of tough. And it's not the kind of thing that I expect to knock out of the park the first time I do it. I've come to find that you got to revisit it Really take some time, really be honest with yourself, be open, be vulnerable. Some of that forgiveness you talked about earlier can come into play because you might start feeling guilty about why you haven't achieved it already. All these things can come into play. So everyone, this is a powerful concept and something I've worked as well with people as a coach. And Alex, you make it part of your coaching. So you probably, I see you're nodding your head at some of the points
Yeah.
that I'm making. But anything else you want to add about the whys?
About the whys, yeah, the next exercise that I do, the next tool that I use is for this same step number three. It's creating
Okay.
even more leverage. It's utilizing the unseenable power of the pain and the pleasure, because everything we do in life as a human beings, we are trying to avoid pain, whether you know it or not, by the way. Is to avoid pain and to gain pleasure. Now pain is a little bit bigger topic. It's a little bit bigger motivator, but in reality, if you right now, for example, you're trying to stop overeating this junk food. For example, you're trying to overeating cake and you cannot stop it. You always feel addiction to that. That's because you link subconsciously, my friend, subconsciously into your autonomic nervous system. You link a lot of pleasure of having the cake, and you link not enough of pain of not having this cake. So basically, what I'm trying to say, most of the times it's happening that this cake is right now in front of you, and you're gonna get this. For example, this cake is just an example. It can be anything, whatever you like, ice cream, whatever, chocolate bar, and
Yeah.
it's right here in front of you, and it's so real. Or you can actually also have it in your head, doesn't matter. It's so real, it's so juicy, you want to eat it right now. The pleasure is right now. Now the pain of, hey, I'm gonna gain a pound or something someday, it's not gonna happen. After the second you eat this cake, you're not magically gonna gain this, I don't know, 1 pound. Am I correct? So the pain is
Yeah.
somewhere further. It's gonna happen, but someday. So as long as the pain is someday and the pleasure is right here, the pain and the pleasures method going to use you. What I'm trying to teach people is to how they can take back control over that. And actually the advertisers figured it out long time ago. Everything they're trying to sell, it's not because they're bad people, but they know that we're trying to gain pleasure and avoid the pain. So when you figure these things out, when you create your empowering routine through your day, and you're going to work with these powerful forces, you would be able to uh, automatically build it into your nervous system, and that's going to be priming you. That's going to be your why, that's going to be your reason, that's going to be even more powerful for you to actually follow through. Now it's not only about overcoming binge eating or overeating or junk food eating. Everything I teach here pretty much applicable for any area of your life. If you have different behaviors and you cannot break through them, and you're trying everything and it's not working, and this diet, I think it's working, but then something pulling me back, and I'm finding myself again eating and feeling bad and beating myself up. First step: forgive yourself for what's happened in the past. The past does not equal the future. Number two, create again the vision. You have to believe that it's possible. Someday it's possible to create this vision that you're going to break through this, whatever, addiction or the pattern of thinking or feeling, whatever you're struggling with. Number three is link pain and pleasure to the right spots. Utilize it there. 7 question or 5 question, at least five is would be already difficult enough. Go very deep with yourself. And again, I will repeat one more time. You notice probably I repeat it all the time because I wanted you to start taking action after you finish tuning to this podcast, to this call, to this interview. I wanted you to schedule the time, even if you're busy, schedule for later, or better to do it right now, to put your time and start it's all of the steps are applicable. Sit down for 15 minutes and try to utilize the pain, the pleasure. 15-30 minutes, do the why, what's my reason behind it, what's the true reason, the deep one. And then if you're going to be applying small steps every single day, it's going to start in adding up, and it's definitely going to create the lasting changes. And that's the health mastery roadmap, is to create lasting changes. Remember, it's not just, hey, do this diet, exercise this way. It's not going to work for everybody, right? Even if my diet is the perfect for me,
Right.
it's not going to work for you, and vice versa. So that's why I still didn't dive into those strategies. I'm talking about mentality more and the inner world. And the step number 4 is also inner world. Believe it or not, I'm going to be talking about limiting beliefs. I'm going to be talking about that. Step number 4 is eliminate the limiting beliefs and install instead of them the empowering beliefs. Now, what's belief? Belief is basically thought that's been running in your head multiple times, so you don't need to even think about that and even judge that, or you just believe it. The belief is the feeling of certainty that something is true. You created the meaning about something. For example, you created the meaning that, hey, I'm not good enough, so it's not going to work. Or, hey, I've tried so many diets. I've tried, or the one of my favorites is, I've tried everything. And you're saying, hey, Alex, what are you talking about? I've tried those visualization, the goal setting, the whatever you're saying, it's BS. You know why? Because I believe that I've tried everything. And as long as you believe in that, you're going to stick in this rod, because you need to see it for what it is. This is the limiting belief. And how can you break from that? You can start questioning it. You can journal it and then question it. Ask yourself, is it truly you tried everything? Are you sure you kind of tried 1,000 diets and 1,000 exercises and 1,000 mental work exercises? Is it true? And then you will start seeing yourself that, well, actually, I tried 3 diets and I didn't even try the coach or whatever. The basic, what I'm trying to explain is you haven't tried anything. So create more empowering belief that, I don't know, I will always achieve my goals for whatever I committed to. If my commitment is strong enough, I'm going to find the way. I'm going to make the way. And whatever the case might be for you, install empowering beliefs instead. And there is lots and lots of them, and there are lots of ways to identify those beliefs. But one of them, again, is to go about your day and you're catching those thoughts and you're writing them down. And then you can question those thoughts, and that's how you're going to be able to identify. That's a big topic. I can talk on and on for hours, because it's really important. There's basically the like a computer. It's like operational system that's running everything on a background. And I would say you this way: if you didn't achieve whatever goal in your life, it's because you have limiting belief around that goal. I'm not good enough. I've tried everything. It can be with business, with anything, with relationship, with health. It's too expensive. I don't have time, yada, yada, yada. There's many common of those. And it's nothing wrong with you, my friend. I have ton of them. I used to have ton and ton of them, but now I catch them every day. I do this exercise. By the way, everything that I'm saying also, it's not you did it once. Some of the exercises you do it, like lifting the biceps, lifting the weights, you go to the gym and you do it every day or every other day. You train that. With nutrition, the same. You don't eat one time healthy, now that's it, I feel fantastic forever. You do it consistently, right? Cold shower, you do it consistently, sauna, you name it. Same with the mental work and mental and emotional exercises, my friend. Most of them you do many times. Now, step number 5 is simple. I wanted you to, well, if you don't have the coach, right, I wanted you to find model success, start taking action, create the game plan, and start taking action. This is step number 5. Model success means somebody already on the internet, or maybe it's your friend, maybe it's your mom, whoever you can find, is somebody already found the way to get the goal that you want. Maybe you want to lose weight and keep it off for many years, for life. Well, then find somebody who already achieved that result. It can be, again, coach, it can be your friend, the neighbor, whatever. Somebody who already did that, feel fantastic, looking the way you want to look, or somewhat at least, and go to this person and find what he's doing. What is his nutrition, what is his exercises routine, what do he believe, does he believe? Because a lot of the time you will find so similar empowering beliefs that those people have about themselves, about the world, and it's also gonna help you. Now, after that, I want you to create the plan, game plan. It doesn't supposed to be crazy and including everything. No, in this case, you're gonna stuck in the rut of overthinking, analyzing, trying everything at once. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna stick. Find one thing, nutrition, exercise, whatever, start doing. The keyword here is start taking action right away. Small steps every day adds up. That's how successful people became successful over a long period of time. The consistency and the building those habits that Dave always talking about, because that's war, guys. Habits are very, very important, and we can change them. So, and the last step would be, since you already model someone for success, create the plan and start taking actions. Now, a simple step number 6 is analyze. I call it analytics. You basically looking what's working, what's not, because what's working for me might not working for you, yada, yada, yada. We're all different, so same and so different at the same time. So I wanted you to start doing this, that, and see the results. It's not necessarily the weight scales I'm trying to measure, but maybe how is your body look proportionally? Do you feel better? What's even better, I would say, if you feel better, if your sleep became better, if your mood is better, if you feel more energy, those are the best indicators that you're doing something right, that you go into the right direction. Now, step number 7 is basically when you analyze the data, you found what's working, what's not in the step number 6. Now, step number 7, eliminate things that's not working, not serving you, and apply more of what's working for you, and keep on refining your way of achieving the body of your dreams, the vitality, the energy, the health of your dreams. Now, those are 7 simple steps, and if you're going to keep on working on them and refine them, sometimes you might need to go again back on the step number 1 because something might occur. You might fall off the wagon. It's okay. Realize that, don't beat yourself up, but at the same time, raise your standards back. When you follow the wagon or whatever, it doesn't mean you need to be there, and doesn't mean you forgive yourself. That's it. Now I can do whatever I want. I can drink beer. I can use this and that. No, what I'm trying to say, if you've done something in the past does not equal the future. Forgive yourself for being a human being, not a human doing, and realize that, again, it's all there now, right now, this very second. I can change my future with the one thought, with the one decision, and I'm going to raise my standards back, forgive myself, raise my standards back. We'll work on my limiting beliefs again. Will work on my reasons, my whys, the create this the system that we talk, the pain and the pleasure, and etc., and keep on analyzing and trying and figuring out what's going to work for you. That's the, in a nutshell, the 7th step of creating lasting change, losing weight, and keeping it off for life, the health mastery roadmap.
Fantastic. It's great. I love it. I can tell there's probably been people in your life that have been really inspiring. I mean, some of these principles I've heard, Tony Robbins, for example, is really big on the pain pleasure aspect. And you've read some of Tony Robbins stuff. Who are some other people? So go ahead.
I've gone through many programs and books and products of Tony Robbins. It's Stephen James. It's Joe Dispenza. This is the doctor, really, really big on the mind and how you can prime your mind towards achieving your goals the way you want to be. Those are the main one. If we're talking about, there is different in different areas. I mean, Will Smith inspiring me with the discipline and the work ethic. The Arnold Schwarzenegger inspired me of creating the vision and actually taking those steps. And I can a little bit relate to him more, for example, than to Tony Robbins, because that guy was also an immigrant, and he immigrated from the Austria, and he started building this whole thing. And everybody was saying to him, hey, you have bad accent, you're not going to be actor. Boom, he became one of the bestest at the certain time. And same with the bodybuilding. People say you're never going to achieve success. Same with the politician. Again, I'm not sure he is politician and what's your choice. I'm not going to judge or whatever, but I'm sure he is achieving. He's inspiring me big time. And a lot of people, like my mom, inspiring me because he always say the weather, there is no such a thing as a bad weather. I used to believe that there is good weather and bad weather, and I always complain about that. And my mom is always positive, and that inspires me. And sometimes my wife, my parents, my brother, people around me believe in myself even more than I believe in myself. And even though I'm a master of limiting beliefs, can you imagine? Sometimes it's happening that sometimes you just hit the rock bottom and you're like, and I just go and talk, and they're my coaches. I'm a life coach, okay? But they're my life coaches actually. So, but from the internet, if you ask me again, there is plenty of people there. I like Thomas DeLauer, not from the inspirational standpoint, but from the ideas and the health and the things that he's sharing about nutrition and the fast, many other things. So there is plenty of people around the world from different countries that inspire me. Everybody who overcome challenges, who came from nowhere and achieve result and do it with the smile on the face. It's not always easy. I'm not saying to be crazy and just positive all the time, but at the same time, I like to read stories of successful people, and I'm not talking about success just from the money standpoint, different areas. And I like those stories and the biographies, because those just enormous amount of people who inspire. And we're staying in the shoulders of the giants. Most of the things that in my roadmap, it's been teaching also in Tony and all the people. And you know why? Because that works, my friend. And Tony learning from all the people and other, etc., etc. Sometimes we find things that really, really works, but we just got to start practicing them ourselves. That's one. If you can learn one thing from my entire talk, long and boring talk, is start taking action, my friend. One step at a time. Don't try to do like me, getting very crazily healthy at the same time. I mean, you can try. I don't know what's your abilities. All I'm just saying, if you're going to procrastinate on this crazy hard program where so many steps, you might not start taking action. The point is, start taking action right after you finish to listen in this call, and that's going to make the whole difference for you in the entire life.
Fantastic. Well, Alex, I love the energy. I love the plan. As you said, this isn't the kind of thing someone can just hear one time and just do everything. And so if someone also is resonating with you and loves the energy and would love to have you walk them through the Success Mastery Roadmap, how do they do that?
If people want to work with me one-on-one or find out more about what I'm doing, just go to thehealthmastery.com. And I actually have a free gift. And the free gift is a 3-in-1 bundle. This is the Health Mastery bundle, where one of the one of the guide is actually this roadmap. The whole roadmap is there with the actionable steps. Number 2 is I put there my 12 nutritional principles. And I also put my dessert cookbook for those who want to make it a little bit sweeter and easier to transform to the healthy lifestyle. So this is a 3-in-1 bundle. That's a free gift. And you can find it by going to thehealthmastery.com/go.
Fantastic. Well, Alex, it's been wonderful. I'm so glad I had you on the podcast. I'm inspired. I want to do better myself after listening to you. I've been thinking through as we go through these things, and my own goals and what mistakes that I make and how I could do better. And at the same time, I love your honesty. You've come from a tough background, made some mistakes as a youth that you've had to overcome. And I love how you shared that, some fitness experts, it's kind of like what I said about, sometimes we reach the goals and it's still just us, right? We still have to deal with life and the difficulties. And I love how you've been honest about that and open about some of the challenges you still go through. And yet at the same time, your life is, 1,000% better than it was. And you've done it through these principles. So congratulations to you. And now you're helping other people do it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I really appreciate the call and the opportunity. I'm very grateful for this opportunity, this privilege to being interviewed in your incredible podcast, Dave.
Okay. Well, thanks again. And for everyone listening, this is Dave Sherwin wishing you health and success.